Hey everyone, Catherine here, and we're back with episode 15 of our Zero to Shadowlands challenge. Yesterday we spent most of our time just kind of babysitting the auction house. We still have quite a bit of Tidespray Linen. At the moment, I'm waiting for the price to go back up to about here a little bit. It's not worth buying these ones out right now to flip. I'm just gonna let them go ahead and sell, and it's a Saturday night, so they will. And I'm sure that it'll be back up. It's usually up around here when someone else decides to reset the market, but that's a little bit too much for me. We did sell quite a bit of Tidespray Linen though. I'm not happy with the amount we sold within 24 hours. I was supposed to go to Bashir over in the Eastern Kingdoms right here and farm Ashara's Veil in the Abyssal Depths. And I did do the quest line to get to Bashir. However, whenever I would go to the Abyssal Depths, nothing would load. My character would disappear. The nodes wouldn't load. Any placed objects, like mailboxes for instance, not that there are any mailboxes in Bashir, but a lot of placed objects follow the same type of code as mailboxes do. They would also disappear. So I couldn't really farm. So I was just like, okay, we're just gonna roll with that. So we didn't farm, really. We mostly babysat the auction house. Not as much babysitting as I should have done, but anyway, it works out. So let's take a look at our gold for the day. Since our last video, we have made 19,758 gold in sales. Keep in mind though, we spent about 21,000 to 23,000 because I did buy up a few particularly cheap Tidespray Linen here and there. There was like a few hundred at one point posted for 1.5 gold a piece, and that's like a no-brainer to just buy that out. So I went ahead and bought that out. We also sold Volatile Life, Volatile Air, ton of Volatile Water. We'll probably have to go farm that again. You can see we sold quite a bit of Tidespray. If we look at just the Tidespray sales, we honestly didn't even scratch the surface of the amount of Tidespray we have, and we already have almost half our gold back in the Tidespray, and all that left to sell. And we have over 8,000 in our bags, so we're gonna make a pretty tidy profit on that. We also sold a silver thread sash for 1,900 gold. I accidentally sold my bear tartar, so sucks, but I'll buy more. And someone, for some unknown reason that I've never met them, never heard of them, but they sent me 3 gold and a raw brilliant small fish. So I mean, I'm not gonna turn down 3 gold and a fish. Gold is gold. So I honestly don't even know how they found my character. They probably were standing in Stormwind at the same time and just targeted everyone and sent mail to them with fish and gold. But let's go ahead and grab our sold auctions out of the mailbox. And our 3 gold and fish. So that puts our gold total back up to 117,335 gold. We currently have 568 auctions on the auction house for a total gold value of 696,340 gold. So we're getting back up there. So I had another question on yesterday's video where I talked about flipping, about BFA meat. So if you've been paying attention to the market, BFA meat has drastically dropped in price. Let's go ahead and do a scan for BFA cooking materials, and we'll run shopping scan. So the question is, I have a lot of BFA raw meat in my bank from skinning farms that only sell for 7 silver each. Do you think it's worth crafting food to sell now or holding onto it until Shadowlands? Will the prices go up as new players level but fewer people are farming it? I think that there are honestly a lot of unknowns when it comes to how markets will be affected by all of the leveling changes in Shadowlands. Keep in mind that every new player is going to be automatically funneled through BFA. They won't get to choose their leveling expansion. Once you've leveled a character, you'll be able to pick your expansion as you wish. However, the first time you have to go through BFA in order to kind of set you up to get into Shadowlands. Most of the time, meat isn't worth flipping. I think it would be worthwhile to get it out of your bank in order to be able to stockpile some things that you know will be worth stockpiling, because bank space is limited, and if you keep stockpiling really cheap things, it's oftentimes not worth it. I would wait until you see meat be a higher price, like it is here with the meaty haunch, where it's 242% of the server market value. Or I would go ahead and craft it into food and feasts and things like that that you know will sell. I still buy food like crazy on my main server because I play a lot of Mythic Plus, so I go through food like nobody's business. Because every time we wipe, you have to eat again. Food will sell, and if you just want to get rid of it, I just go ahead and craft it into food. If you can, I'd recommend crafting it into food from 8.2, like the McDowell's Big Macs and things like that, because those are the ones that people really want. So if you have cooking already leveled, that'd be a good idea. The other thing you could do is use it to go ahead and level up any characters that you want to be at max level cooking. So it's always useful to have characters in case you decide you want to switch alts with cooking. But when I'm doing, for instance, skinning farms, I just vendor the thick paleo steaks if I'm doing the Atal'Dazar farm, for instance. They're usually just not worth it because they sell for 6 silver, 25 copper to the vendor each, and they sell for 7 silver. You're probably losing a bit of gold posting with posting fees and the auction house cut selling them. So I would either cook with them or vendor them, personally. Unless you see a higher price for things like meaty haunch. Meaty haunch is usually going to be your better one to put up and sell because it's usually going to be above what you can vendor it for, but it also really depends on your server economy. If you think that you could reset the price, I've tried resetting the price of meats on smaller servers, but I wouldn't recommend it because of the number of people doing the skinning farms again for the raw gold. Today I think we're going to go farm some Wrath of the Lich King herbs and ore over in Northrend, just to get some of those up on the auction house, see what we get, and see if it is a good farm on the server, unless a particularly good group farm comes up, because sometimes there are some good ones. For instance, someone's doing an Isle of Thunder hyperspawn. Those are usually pretty good. You don't see Hook Point very often anymore. That is the plan moving forward. We will keep an eye on the Tidespray Linen prices to see if those improve a little bit. I anticipate that they'll improve later tonight. It's 4:12 realm time right now, so it's not quite peak playtime for this server. So I think that once it hits tonight, prices will go up a bit. And Sundays in particular seem to be really heavy crafting days, so I think we'll be able to sell the rest of it this weekend, hopefully. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.